Okay, good evening, everyone. This is August 3rd already. The year's going by fast. Um, and my name is Luann Pecorelli, and I live in Orem, Utah. And we're going to talk about some things tonight. And if you are not muted, just keep your phones on mute when someone else is talking. But we may be doing some interaction here tonight. Because to be totally honest about this, I did not remember I had training tonight. So we're going to have maybe more of a discussion, but I do have some information that I will share with you. So welcome everyone, and I'm grateful that you're on the call. We all have a relive story, and before we start talking about training tonight, you see the picture of Bob and Sandy Montgomery on the slide. And, Relive is such an amazing business. And, that was Bob's vision. He saw it as a business, even the products worked so well, and, their family got amazing results on the products, but he saw Relive as a vision for, people, moms being able to stay home, earn extra money, and to have, one parent in the home. And I think that's an awesome vision. And especially with everything that's going on with COVID, Relive has such a business opportunity, and we're going to talk a little more about that. But before we get into it, would anyone like to share what's going on in their Relive business that you're happy about, that you're having fun with?
Hey, Luann, Kevin Pond here.
Yes,
I
Kevin.
just wanted to share some, really fun coming off a great month last month. Was not only able to do over 5,100 in volume and requalify, but also fed 656 kids along the way. So that helped a lot too. Having fantastic pace, building that up, getting real excited for a conference coming up at the end of this month, and just looking forward to setting new goals and just moving forward.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Feeding 600 and how many kids? You said 50 what?
656 last month.
656. You're awesome, Kevin. Changing lives. And that's what Relive does, and that's what makes Relive fun, because we do change lives. Anyone else like to share?
Hey, Luann, it's Robert.
Hi, Robert.
We had a really good month last month, and I think last I counted, we had a little bit over 17,000 in volume. And we've just really, we've just really been speaking into existence our goals and really trying to push ourselves for them. And it looks like we'll probably have another really good month this month, just because we've been plugging away at it for a few months, and we're really seeing the momentum run.
That's awesome. Plugging away, but I bet you've been focusing, right?
Well, yeah, you could say that. We've also got some international goals we're working on also.
Oh, cool. We're going to talk about focus in just a minute. Anyone else like to share? Everybody's doing great. I'll share a little something. I've been working all day with a friend of mine since grade school, actually, and I've been working with her for a year. And she's just not really ever committed to start on the Relive products, and yet she's very interested and talked about doing it as a business, but just never takes that extra step to get started. And so tonight I just completely asked her, I said, well, what do you want to do? Where do you want to get started? And so we found out, it's kind of a money issue that she's looking at, but she needs the products because she's just been diagnosed with a lump in her breast and breast cancer. Getting more information tomorrow. And, I thought, I wish she would have started, a year ago when I was talking to her, but, everybody has to do it in their own time. And, it's a people business, and people are all variables. And so, it's our personal growth that we grow working with people. And I see that so often, but you really love and care about people, you just keep working with them and helping them. And I think that's what's really fun, but can be challenging with Relive also. So anyone else have something they would like to share? Okay, well, congratulations to Kevin and to you, Robert, and everyone that's on, for building their Relive business. And if you look at the slide, I want to be my own boss and share products I believe in. Kevin, do you believe in these products?
Absolutely, 100%. Living proof that they work. Absolutely.
Yes. Christina, do you believe in the products?
Absolutely. My life would not be what it is today without these products.
Yes. Okay. And I was on Katie Dean's call tonight, and most of you know she's an ambassador with Relive. And I put my friend, on Katie's call to hear more stories, and that's what it's all about. It's that validating and learning more. And, Katie talked about that. How would you feel when you're the person that shared? Robert and Lauren, you shared with Kevin, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, how do you feel knowing how the Relive products helped Kevin? How has that affected you?
Oh my gosh. It it's priceless. Like it's amazing. Just a God-given gift. The fact that we met and became friends, and I was nervous to share with him too. I don't know why, because he was the nicest guy in the entire world, but I had my own doubts and lies that I've told myself. But anyway, who knew that a little bit later he would get diagnosed with leukemia again? So amazing.
Yes. And I think you bring up an important thing, Kevin's an amazing guy and a nice guy, but you're a little nervous to share with him. And I think how many times that happens. Were you nervous to share with Christina?
Sorry, I muted myself again. I don't remember. It was more natural. Like our friendship just kind of sprang up kind of out of nowhere. I don't know if that's her recollection, but that's my recollection of our friendship. But it just felt more natural to share with her. Like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Come check it out. Like there was no pressure. With Kevin, honestly, I was sharing because I thought some things that he had shared about his dad, that I thought that maybe this could help his dad. So it wasn't even about Kevin. It was a family member. But for Christina, it was just kind of a social, like, hey, maybe this could help you too.
Mm-hmm.
There was less pressure, I guess, because I knew that Kevin's dad was sick, and I didn't want him to think that I was like trying to get him or sell him something, or I don't know.
Yes. No, and I think that's really true, Lauren, because my neighbor just had a stroke, and and I know that Relive will help her, but it's that thought that, they're just going to think you're trying to sell them something because they know nothing about the amazing things that we know and we've heard, how these products change people's lives, even sometimes when doctors give no hope. And I remember a story. Terry Cover actually set that story up, and it was about a lady that had cancer, and she only did Now and Luna-Rich X capsules, and the doctors gave up on her, no hope whatsoever. And so, anyway, I think a family member heard an ad on the radio, and so this family member went to her and said, will you do this? Because she's sitting in a chair. She's got little children. She can't do anything, no energy. And she said, yes, I have nothing to lose. And she was, not long, really. It took her, and she was up and she was taking care of her kids and had energy and feeling good. And then eventually she went back to her doctor, and he talked her out of taking the shakes and doing a trial. and she did pass away. And so, you know, it's sad. And we, you know, we come from all of these thought processes. Like you said, Lauren, we tell ourselves certain lies. And, you know, sometimes it's hard because we know and we've heard the results that Relive can deliver. So I want to be your own boss and share the products I believe in. So, you know, thinking about believing in the products. And if you look at this slide, and Bob Montgomery was on Saturday, training was incredible. I actually thought a little too late, but I recorded a lot of what he said. But from what he said, is there anything that stood out to any of you that are on this call tonight that you want to share? You know, anyone want to say anything?
I think his excitement for the company, the new product, you know, new product thing, the whole thing, like his speech, his enthusiasm, his outlook for the future is just amazing.
Yes. And then the Engage video today, I don't know if anyone had a chance to listen to it. I did, but you know, I was excited because Tom said there will be new training videos. And he talked about the product, you know, and conference coming up, August 28th and 29th. What an opportunity. And I'm going to tell you the value that Relive gives to us and to others coming into the Relive business products. I'm not sure we really realize the true value. And the reason I say that is because our international conference, August 28th and 29th, cost us how much? Free. I just paid for a Zoom conference from a marketing company, you know, and it was not free. And yet we have an international conference coming up and there's no charge for it. And if you look at the value that we have free videos, we have free training, we have the Fit 3 group. The value that comes from all that Relive offers to us, I mean, it's incredible. So, you know, they say people need to see value, and the value in the products. And of course, yes, they don't come free, but the stories paint the picture of the value. Had this conversation today, you know, when Mike did chemo and stem cell transplant, probably it was around $2 million by the time everything came in. That's costly. Now, Relive doesn't cost $2 million to get results. And here's the amazing thing. We have savings programs. We have free product earning. All these are value that we can talk to a person about so that they can get started on these products that deliver amazing results. So, you know, I challenge you to look at the value. What, you know, where's the value? I've mentioned a few, but it's not all. Some of the things that I learned on this marketing training was a one-liner. So, you know, Steve Garner, and some of you may have known him, but he was, you know, from Utah, and he got amazing results on Relive. Even the doctors actually gave up on him. But he always had a one-liner for himself. And he said, people would say, how are you? And he'd say, I'm pretty good for a man that's supposed to be dead, which created, well, what happened to you? Curiosity. And you're hearing that now because Mindy Meyer, she's kind of done some of this same marketing that I paid to be on. And that's one of the things they teach is curiosity post. And so one of the things they talked about in these one-liners, how to create a one-liner, you know, whether it's the health, the products, or for finances. And I want you to think about this. And if you can think of a one-liner, I want you to share it. So the first thing that they taught us was identify your customer's problem. Now, oftentimes we hear, I have osteoporosis, or, you know, something medical, you know, thing that they're dealing with. But I'm going to say to you, what does osteoporosis, what are the other problems that it causes? Or if you have a heart problem, you have a heart problem, but what are the other problems that the heart can cause? Lack of energy, you know, a lot of things that you can't do because of a certain issue. Osteoporosis, bones may be weak. You can't run and play with your grandchildren. How does that make you feel? Frustrated. You can't interact with your family the way you want to. So look at the problem, and what problem does the problem create? Louise Cole is a perfect example, I think, because when she said she had Achilles tendonitis, she said, I quit doing everything. I quit going up and down steps because she was told, you know, that she needed surgery. She quit running. She, you know, she quit going to the gym. So how does that make you feel? What are those problems that come from the main problem? Do you catch what I'm saying here? My hair's falling out. What does that cause? Okay, that's a problem. But are you embarrassed because your hair's falling out? You don't feel attractive anymore? So there's always more problems from the problem. So the first thing to do when you're doing a one-liner is identify your customer's problem. Okay, the second thing is explain a plan to them that's going to help them. Remember, this is a one-liner. So you need to have a plan in there that's going to help them. And the third thing is describe successful endings to their story. So can you tie that together in a one-liner? One of the things that I came up with was, and you can start it with most people, I came up with most people have a hard time sticking to a diet. We help you with lifestyle changes and tools to achieve and manage your weight loss goals. So there's the problem, a little plan in the middle, and basically a success ending, a solution. We have the tools to help you achieve and manage your weight loss goals. Another one that I came up with was, most people do not absorb nutrients. We have rapid absorption products that deliver optimal results. You will feel the difference. So from that, can you think of a one-liner that you can use? Anyone want to go for that? Okay, it's a lot to think about. You have to kind of sort it out, you know, but like Steve Garner, he'd always say, you know, I feel great for a man that's supposed to be dead. So, you know, you could say, you know, I'm staying fit at 70, something, you know, like that, or, you know, one-liners, think about it, because sometimes you only have just that time, but you need to get that attention. And in marketing and advertising, when I did advertising for our automotive business, I always had to have a one-liner. You need something that's going to grab attention. But I like this, that, you know, it's actually a one-liner in a sense. It doesn't have to be just one sentence. It's going to be just a one-liner type statement. Identify your customer's problem, explain a plan, and describe a successful ending or a solution. And some of the things that I learned in the one thing that was eye-opening to me, if you're building your Relive business online, who's your target market? Now, as I looked at my personal page on Relive, and I have 3 of them actually. I have a business page called Pecorelli Hope, and I also have a personal page, and I also have a group page, Fitness Through Nutrition, which I need to streamline these. I've been thinking about that a lot. But, you know, when you're looking at your target market and those people that you're friends with and you have relationships with on social media, how many of them are Relive friends? Was eye-opening to me because most of mine on my personal page are Relive friends. So if you're trying to build your Relive business, you need to bring in new friends. One of the things that we were taught is to choose 5 groups, whether it's fitness, weight loss, nutrition, a business, entrepreneur, you know, exercise, 5 groups that you would be interested in, and go out and make friends in those groups. Join those groups because it's going to bring you new people. And the comment was made, yes, a lot of them are in direct sales. That's okay because they want to be your friend as much as you want them to be. Both need friends. I didn't say that quite right. So everyone's looking for the connections. And so, you know, entrepreneurs, and more than 75% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Is this a good time to build your Relive business? By going out and joining groups, you know, we're a little more limited as far as physical groups, but we can join groups on social media. And maybe some of you have done this. This was eye-opening to me. And so what do you do when you join these groups? You be honest, you know, or maybe you see a friend of one of your friends and he or she's not really your friend, and do a little detective work. Click on their page and actually, you know, see what they're interested in. And if it looks like you want to be their friend, just be honest with them and say, hey, I saw your post on Christina's page, and, you know, I'm interested in what you're doing or whatever. Go out and make friends. Find groups that you're interested in because there's a lot of groups out there, and that was very eye-opening to me. So one of the things that we talked about was also focus. And focus is fun. And when you think of focusing being fun, you know, you're working on your business and having it fun, just like Tom says, you know, if you're not having fun, you're done. And so if you think about what's the payoff, what's that end goal? Lauren mentioned, or Robert did, the goals, and Kevin mentioned feeding kids. And, you know, what's the payoff? Is the payoff to feed more kids? Is the payoff, you know, to achieve more goals and help more people achieve more goals? Is the payoff to help people get results on the products or build their business? We have it all. And so the payoff, what payoff will I get today if I stay focused? And, you know, where is the fun in focus? The fun is technically, you know, envision yourself going through that fun. Close your eyes and see yourself feeding more children or helping someone or meeting somebody new. You know, that vision and mindset is huge in growing our businesses. And You know, breathe in the good and breathe out, release what's not good. So, and there's many ways to build our Relive business, and connecting through social media is one of the ways to do it. It is, you know, it's a learning process, but there's so many ways to do it. I learned a lot in this marketing class that I took. And a couple of the things that I'll just share with you in closing here is, you know, little phrases that they taught. Until now, I didn't know how to do such and such. That kind of sets you up, you know, you've learned something, you know something. It sets you up, you know, with credibility. And don't be afraid to share. You know, a lot of people are doing Facebook Live, and that's challenging for everybody. And they had us do some of this. So practice. Kari Montgomery said in the beginning, you know, she said it was easier to do a video and then post the video, because if she didn't like what she said, she could redo it. So you can even start there, start with the video. But from this marketing class, they're saying that Facebook eventually will be mostly video. And another thing, and most of you probably do stories, I see that. I hadn't posted in a story. And so use your stories. Stories generate more participation than your written material. Although they said back up the written information, you put it there because the story only lasts, 24 hours or something like that. But the stories will get attention, but then they're gone. So back it up with, on your personal page with whatever you're doing, or your group page or wherever. And so a couple more phrases they said. If you want to know a secret, drop a heart. Don't say, leave me a comment, because it kind of triggers something with Facebook. Drop a heart or a thumbs up or something like that. I thought that was good information. And then, I decided to invest in myself and I learned such and such, or I benefited such and such. I just found out, it's another phrase. If you want to know, that's another one. And always have a call to action on the things that you are doing. And if you're posting pictures of your product, don't do it. If you post a picture of the can, turn it backwards, because then they're going to want to know what it is. You can send personal messages. And so they said that not showing ourselves on videos, and that can kind of make a suggestion that we have lack of confidence. So I applaud those of you that have done videos, and that's a hard thing for me. And so those are just a few little tips that I learned, but look at the value that we have and put that out there. And there's so many ways. They even said that some people are charging for, Facebook group messages when they're teaching certain things. And if you think about it, we do all of these things. We give it the value because we don't charge people for these things that we have learned. We share with one another because Relive is the company that it is, and we're all helping each other. And so any comments, So I'll just leave you with one closing thought. The word resolute is determined, unwavering, admirably, and purposeful. And so if we are very resolute and setting our goals and focusing and showing value, we're going to help other people no matter where they're at. And we're going to, increase our own businesses and help more people and help build Relive the company that it should be. So I thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you did get a little bit out of my unpreparedness. So I love each one of you, and I treasure and value your friendship.
Great job, Luann.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luann. Great training.